So let's get more on those Greek bailout talks in Brussels. European leaders say they're optimistic the talks will be successful.
We are here ready to conclude today this long process on the new Greek programme, and also we are ready to initiate the official procedure on the PSI. I am optimistic, but in any case we need a clear political approval from the Eurogroup. Thank you.
We need final clarity about the participation of private creditors, about a program that will ensure that Greece's debt is reduced and does not exceed around 120% of gross domestic product by the year 2020. And there's still some work to be done on this. We also must see how to ensure that this program will indeed be implemented. Yes, I'm confident.
Greece has demonstrably made some very important efforts, and right now it's necessary to carry on working for all the elements, for instance those contributed by other parties, to be in place. In any case, the IMF is doing its part as well.
Christine Lagarde from the IMF there. Let's go to our Europe correspondent Philip Williams in London. Phil, good morning. What is the latest with those talks?
Well, they are continuing. They're into their fifth hour now, so it certainly wasn't a quick in-and-out signing ceremony. There are obviously some serious discussions going on. Now, the longer they go on, the less confident people will be that they're going successfully. All the details should have been thrashed out by now, so if they haven't been, then that's a negative. But, of course, the mood music, as you heard, was good going in, but in a qualified sense, in that, for example, the Dutch Finance Minister, Jan Kees de Jager, he was going in, was saying, look, what we need is for the Troika, the EU, the ECB and the IMF to basically set up shop in Athens to keep strict oversight of exactly what they're doing with the money. That will not please the Greeks, because many Greeks will see that as an invasion of their sovereignty. And there is that creeping sense that the imposition of authority from Brussels over Greece is too much to bear. Not just the actual effect of the austerity measures itself, but just the mere fact that they are, in a sense, handing over some political power to Brussels is very offensive for some. And, of course, always that strict message to the Greeks from all the leaders, whatever is done, we know you're having a hard time, but you've got to stick to the letter of this agreement. Here's the Danish Prime Minister, what she was saying just before she went in.
I think everyone understands that this is very, very hard for the Greek people. But it doesn't change the fact that when the 17 euro member states have given these big loans, the Greek people need also to make ends meet in their own economy.
The Danish Prime Minister there, Phil, there's a bit of a deadline involved here because the Greeks are facing the looming repayment of a large tranche of loans to its international creditors.
Yes, that's right. I think it's the 14th of March. They have to find about 14 billion euro. They don't have it. If there's no deal here, then there's no way they can pay that. There is just no source of funding left to them, and they would default. So this is the last chance hotel. There were some wobbles a week or so ago, and some indications that perhaps some of the European countries had second thoughts and thought perhaps they should jettison Greece, allow it to default, and therefore it's kind of written off their books. But of course, there's that greater fear of contagion. I mean, let's cut right down to it. There's not a lot of love lost. There's not a lot of sentiment about Greece itself. Many people feel they're the architects of their own problems, especially the government. But it's the fear of contagion. It's the fear of the panic effect that would have on Portugal, on Italy, on Spain, on countries so much larger and so much less easily to control than Greece. So, but here we are. We appear to be very, very close to the agreement. But as everything we mentioned with Greece, it's nothing certain until it's actually signed. And even when it's signed, it's not certain because we've still got the election to come. And no matter what is agreed by the politicians, the Greek politicians here now, they may not be there to honour those agreements. Even though those signed in blood themselves, they may not be there. There might be a completely different style of government, completely different complexion, and may have been voted in on a platform of renegotiation or ignoring totally the whole bailout. So it's very much a fluid situation still. However, the markets like what they see so far. They're looking for any sort of signs of stability. They've risen today. In fact, the FTSE's back up better than it's been for months. So at least the market's a little bit optimistic, and not many other people are.
One glimmer of hope at least. Phil Williams in London, thanks for the update.
Thank you.